At 3 a.m., I found a photo of my own funeral on my phone, but I'm still alive. The screen lit up in the dark. No notification, no sound, just a single image in my gallery I'd never seen before. My heart dropped. It was me, lying in a coffin, eyes closed, hands folded, dead. The photo was in black and white. My face looked peaceful, but cold. Too real, too detailed. My parents stood over the casket. My sister was crying. I hadn't spoken to her in years. She doesn't even know where I live. How could this photo exist? I checked the metadata. It said it was taken today 2 minutes ago. That made no sense. I was awake, alive, breathing, sitting in my bed. I looked around the room, but nothing was there. No shadows, no sounds, just the quiet hum of the fridge down the hall. I wanted to believe it was a sick joke, but no one had access to my phone. No one even knew my new number. I had moved to this apartment 3 weeks ago and kept to myself. No parties, no visitors, just work, sleep, repeat. Who would do this? And how? I opened my gallery again. The photo was still there. Same angle, same lighting, same dead version of me. It looked like it had been taken from above, like someone was standing right over the coffin. My coffin. I felt my stomach twist. This wasn't edited. I scrolled around, trying to find any other files, any clues. Nothing. No sender. No app history. I checked my front door. Locked. Windows. Shut tight. I even checked the closet, like a scared kid. Empty. But something felt off, like I wasn't alone. I went back to the bed, clutching my phone. That photo just sat there, waiting. I couldn't stop looking at it. I zoomed in. Behind my sister, near the corner of the frame. Was that a figure? A dark blur. No face. Just watching. I swear it wasn't there before. I stared at that shadow in the photo. It looked like a man. Tall. Slightly hunched. No face, just a void where it should be. I blinked, and it almost felt like the image flickered. Like he moved. I zoomed in further, but my screen glitched. Just static. I dropped the phone in panic. It hit the floor, and the screen turned black. I picked it up, pressed the power button. Nothing. Dead. My phone had 76% just minutes ago. I plugged it in, hoping it would charge. No light. No response. Completely fried. That's when I heard it. A tap. Then another. Coming from the hallway. My blood froze. I wasn't imagining it. Someone was outside my bedroom door. I held my breath, hoping it would stop. But the tapping turned into a slow, deliberate knock. 3 knocks. Then silence. I didn't move. My mind screamed to run, to scream, to do anything. But I couldn't. My body felt heavy, like I was sinking into the mattress. Then, the doorknob turned. Slowly, carefully, like whoever it was knew I was watching. The door didn't open. It just rattled, then stopped. I waited for what felt like hours. Nothing. I finally found the courage to get up and check. I crept to the door, placed my ear against it. Silence. I flung it open. No one. Just the empty hallway. But on the floor, there was something. A piece of paper. I picked it up with shaking hands. It was printed, grainy, faded. It was the same funeral photo, but now there were 2 shadows behind my sister. One was closer, almost touching her shoulder. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the floor, lights on, waiting for morning. I thought about going to the police. But what would I say? Someone sent me a photo of my funeral, and now shadows are getting closer? They'd lock me up. Or worse, believe me. Morning finally came, but it didn't bring peace. My phone was still dead. The paper was still on the floor. I didn't touch it again. I just stared at it from across the room, as if it might move. Or worse, change. I needed answers, or I'd lose my mind. I decided to go to the building's front desk. Maybe someone saw something on the cameras. I live in a secure apartment. Keycard access, 24/7 surveillance. I asked the manager if I could see the overnight footage. He looked confused, but agreed. We fast-forwarded through hours of stillness. Then, around 2:55 a.m., the hallway outside my apartment lit up. A figure appeared. No keycard swipe. No footsteps. Just there. Frozen. A tall blur, like a man in a suit made of smoke. No face. No eyes. The figure stood still for a minute. Then it raised one hand and pointed directly at my door. At me. My chest tightened. The manager went pale. "What the hell is that?" he whispered. I had no answer. I was too busy trying not to throw up. At 3 a.m., the cameras glitched. Black screen. 4:15 seconds. When the footage came back, the hallway was empty. No shadow. no movement, just still air. The manager turned to me and said, "That's impossible." No one came in. No one left. I left the office shaken. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. I felt watched. Every corner, every reflection, it felt like eyes. I tried calling a friend, anyone, but I didn't have a working phone, and I didn't want to be alone anymore. When I got back to my apartment, the paper was gone. I never heard the door open. No one had a key. I searched the whole place. Nothing. But on my bed was a new photo. This time, it was my living room, taken from behind me, just minutes ago. I stared at the new photo, hands shaking. It was me, sitting on my couch, from behind. I was holding the old funeral photo, but I was alone when I left the apartment. The door was locked. No one could have taken this, unless they never left. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. It felt useless, like trying to fight a nightmare with a butter knife. But I needed something. Anything. I checked every room, every closet. Nothing. Still, the air felt wrong. Heavy, like it knew I was afraid. I packed a bag. I wasn't going to sleep here again. Ever. I'd crash at a motel, stay with someone, didn't care. I just wanted out. But as I reached the front door, my phone buzzed. It was back on. The screen lit up, and there was a new message. No number. Just a gray bubble. "You can run, but the funeral already happened." My throat tightened. My fingers went numb. I tried to respond, but the message disappeared. Then the phone shut off again. Dead. No power. Just like before. I flung open the door and bolted down the hall. I didn't wait for the elevator. I ran the stairs, skipping steps, out into the sunlight. I didn't stop until I reached the bus stop. I sat there, gasping. People passed me, staring. I didn't care. I booked a room at a cheap motel miles away. Didn't tell anyone where I was. Just needed to breathe. I drew the curtains, left the lights on, and tried to sleep. But my thoughts kept circling. If the funeral already happened, then who died? At 3 a.m. sharp, I woke up choking. Not from a dream, from smoke. The air was thick, but there was no fire. Just that smell. Burnt air. And on the motel desk, another photo. This one was outside the motel. Me, standing at the window. But I never looked out. I stared at the motel photo in horror. It was taken from the parking lot. Through the window. My silhouette was clear against the curtain. But I never went near the window. I never opened it. And worse, there was a reflection behind me. A shape. It stood close. Too close. Like it had been breathing over my shoulder. I turned around instantly. No one there. But the air felt charged, like the moment before a storm. I grabbed my bag. I wasn't staying another second. I had to get help. I rushed to the front desk, photo in hand, and begged the clerk to check the cameras. He gave me a strange look, but agreed. We rewound the footage to that exact time. And there I was, standing by the window. But not alone. On the screen, a shadow moved behind me. Not walking, gliding. No feet. No face. Just blackness. It hovered, then vanished as I turned. The clerk gasped. "Is this a prank?" he asked, but I could see in his eyes, he was terrified. Just like me. I left the motel immediately. Got on the first bus heading anywhere. I didn't care where. Just away. I sat in the back, gripping the photo, trying not to fall apart. That thing, whatever it wasn't just watching me. It was following. I remembered what the message said. The funeral already happened. Was I dead? Had I somehow slipped out of time? Or was something pulling me toward a death I couldn't escape? Each thought made my skin crawl. None of it felt real. As the bus rolled through the night, I looked out the window. Empty roads. Quiet fields. Then I saw it. Standing on the side of the road. A tall, black figure. No face. Just watching the bus pass. And in its hand was my phone. My chest tightened as we passed the figure. I wasn't the only one who saw it. An old woman across the aisle flinched and whispered, "Did you see that?" I just nodded, too afraid to speak. Whatever it wasn't hiding anymore. I stayed on that bus for hours. Transferred twice. Slept in terminals. I stopped checking the time. I didn't care about food or rest. I just wanted distance. But no matter how far I went, the feeling followed. The cold. The weight. The fear. At another small-town motel, I collapsed into bed, exhausted. Just one night, I told myself. Just sleep. No photos. No shadows. Just rest. But at 3 a.m., I woke up to a buzz. My phone. Fully charged. Lying on the pillow beside me. I hadn't plugged it in. I hadn't even taken it out of my bag. But now it was on, glowing, screen unlocked. A new photo had appeared in the gallery. My heart sank before I even opened it. I already knew. I was in it. It was a close-up. My face, in that motel bed. Eyes closed. Mouth slightly open. Dead. But what chilled me wasn't the stillness of my face. It was the angle. The photo had been taken from inches above me, like someone had leaned in and watched me sleep. I threw the phone against the wall. It didn't break. It didn't even crack. It just slid to the floor, screen still glowing. The image still open. That version of me, so still, so pale, like it was waiting, or like it already knew something I didn't. I packed again. No plan, no destination, just movement. Maybe if I kept running, it would lose me. Maybe if I stayed ahead of 3 a.m., I could survive. But deep down, I felt it. This wasn't about escape anymore. It was about time. I started testing it. I stayed awake past 3 a.m., hid in public places, changed motels, changed clothes, threw the phone in a river, bought a new one. But at 3 a.m., the photos kept coming. Always the same. Me, dead, in the place I was staying. Different angles, different distances, but always accurate, always recent, and always closer, like the thing taking them was getting bolder, or maybe braver, like it was waiting for something, or counting down. One night, I covered all mirrors, turned off all electronics, wrote everything down with pen and paper, sat in the bathroom with the lights off. No signal, no way to track me. I waited. 3 a.m. came. Silence. Then, I heard breathing. Not mine. Low, wet, like someone struggling to exhale. It came from behind the shower curtain. I didn't move, didn't even blink. I wanted to scream, but I knew if I did, it would respond. So I waited, prayed, until the breathing stopped. When I finally pulled the curtain back, nothing, just a dry tub. But written on the tile, in fog, were 5 words, "It's not your time." Yet, I backed out of the room slowly, heart hammering. I didn't sleep for days after that. Each photo now shows more. The people from my real life, friends, co-workers, standing by my casket, crying, or staring blankly. Even strangers I barely knew. I think they're starting to see it too, like it's spreading. But there's something else. In the latest photo, the coffin was open. My eyes were open too, looking straight into the camera. And I was smiling. Not a peaceful smile, a knowing one, like I remembered something that hadn't happened yet. I don't know what I am anymore. Alive? Haunted? Marked? I've stopped counting the days. I live on buses, in empty diners, in places that don't ask questions. But no matter where I go, the photos find me. Sometimes printed, sometimes on new phones. And people, they're starting to avoid me. Strangers flinch when I pass. Animals growl. Kids cry, like they sense something I can't see. Like whatever follows me is starting to bleed through into the world. Into them. I tried visiting my sister. She opened the door, stared, and whispered, "You're not supposed to be here." Then slammed it shut. I knocked, begged. Nothing. Later that night, I got a photo. Her, crying beside my coffin. She wasn't faking. It's like the photos are prophecy, a schedule, a warning, or maybe a threat. Every night, I stay alive feels like I'm breaking a rule, stretching borrowed time. But I don't know how long it'll hold before something snaps back. I started talking to the dead. Not real ones, just voices, whispers and static, reflections that don't sync. I'm not sure if I'm losing my mind, or if something's trying to guide me. Either way, I write everything down, like it matters. Tonight's photo was different. No people, no coffin, just a location. A place I've never seen before, a clearing in the woods. Moonlight, fog, but I felt it. A pull, like whatever waits there has been waiting forever for me. I've decided to go. I don't know why. Maybe I'm done running. Maybe I want answers. Or maybe it's time. But before I leave, I'm uploading this story everywhere. If you're reading this, don't try to find me. Just watch the photos. See when they stop. I reached the clearing just before midnight. Same as the photo. Same trees, same fog, same dead silence. My phone buzzed once in my pocket. I didn't look. I already knew what I'd see. I walked into the middle and waited. The air shifted. Heavy, cold, not wind, something else. Like a breath, a presence. I closed my eyes and whispered, "What are you?" No answer, but I felt it move behind me. The ground seemed to hum beneath my feet. Then I heard the camera click. Once, twice, not from my phone, from behind me. I turned fast, but no one was there. Just fog. And then a soft voice. My own voice. "Now you see," it said. "Now you remember." My knees gave out. I collapsed into the dirt, heart pounding. Images flashed in my mind. A hospital room, a beeping flatline, a hand letting go, but I never saw who died. Was it me? Was it someone else? Or both? I screamed into the trees. Nothing echoed back. Then the fog parted, and I saw a figure. Same height, same build, same face. Mine. It was smiling, holding out something in its hand. My phone. I stepped forward, reached out, but before I touched it, everything went black. Not like fainting, like being unmade. No pain, just silence. And then, I was standing alone, back in my apartment. Same night, same clock, 2:59 a.m. And on my phone, a new photo. Me, standing in the woods, eyes open, smiling. Behind me, dozens of shadows. Watching, waiting. I don't know if I ever left. I don't know if I ever returned. But tonight's almost 3 a.m. again, and I'm still here. For now.